There's something kind of magical about sharing your bed with a cat, the way they stretch out beside you, the soft sound of their purring in the quiet of the night, that little warm body nestled into the crook of your knees or pressed right up against your chest. But here's the thing, when a cat chooses to sleep in your bed, it's not just a coincidence or some random decision made on a whim. Oh no, it's far more meaningful than that. See, cats aren't just climbing into your bed because it's soft or warm, although those are definitely bonuses. They're trying to tell you something, sometimes several things, and the more you pay attention to their habits, the more you'll realize they're sending clear messages through these nightly cuddles. For starters, cats are big on territory. They might be small, but their sense of ownership is gigantic. And your bed, that's prime real estate. It's not just a soft surface to them, it's a space filled with your scent, your energy, and your presence. And that makes it incredibly valuable in a cat's world. When they curl up beside you or sprawl out like royalty, what they're really saying is, this is mine now. Those rhythmic little paw presses into the blanket, that's them marking the territory with scent glands in their paws. It might look like they're just needing to get comfy, but what they're really doing is laying claim to what they see as their space. Your space has become their space, and they're completely content with that arrangement. But there's another layer to it. Yes, they're claiming the bed, but in doing so, they're also claiming you. In the animal kingdom, sharing a sleeping space is a huge sign of trust and connection. So when your cat chooses to sleep beside you, it's their way of saying, I feel safe with you. They're not just being territorial, they're being loyal. They're showing you that you're part of their inner circle, and that's a big deal for a creature as naturally independent and cautious as a cat. It's not always easy to earn that kind of trust. Cats don't just give it away. It takes time, patience, and consistency. Every night they curl up beside you is a silent thank you for making them feel secure in a world that at times can be unpredictable. They might not jump into your arms the moment you walk through the door, but when they choose your pillow over their own bed, they're speaking from the heart. They're saying, so this is where I feel most at peace. Even the little things matter, like when they wait for you to brush your teeth before hopping into bed, or the way they guard the foot of the bed like it's their job. Maybe they choose to sleep facing the door, keeping watch. Maybe they curl up behind your knees in a spot that keeps them close but out of the way. Every choice is intentional, every position holds meaning, and while they may move around throughout the night, circling, shifting, stretching, it's all part of how they settle into your shared space, a space they no longer see as yours alone, but as something mutual, a safe zone, a comfort zone, a love zone. Over time, you'll start to realize just how much their nighttime behavior mirrors their trust in you. If they didn't feel safe, they wouldn't be there. If they didn't love you, they wouldn't stay. So even on nights when they leave hair all over your sheets or hog more of the bed than seems physically possible for a creature their size, just know it's not a nuisance. It's affection in its purest form, because when a cat gives you their sleep, they're giving you something sacred, not just rest, but vulnerability, not just presence, but partnership. And whether they stretch out like a king or curl into a little fur ball by your side, their message is loud and clear. This is more than comfort. This is home with you. What's especially interesting is that sleeping with you often becomes a full-on ritual for them. Pay attention to the evening routine. As the day winds down, maybe you'll notice your cat trailing behind you, slipping into the bedroom just as you do, hopping onto the bed like they've been waiting for this moment all day. They might even give you a soft meow, a gentle nudge, or just settle in without a sound, but every action has purpose. They're not just following for fun, they're part of the routine now, and they love it. Now, think about what it really means for a cat to relax next to someone. In the wild, sleep is the most vulnerable state an animal can be in. That's when they're least alert, least able to defend themselves. So instinctively, cats stay hyper-aware even when resting. But when they're with someone they truly trust, that vigilance eases up. If your cat is curled up beside you, dozing off completely, That's them letting their guard down in the deepest way possible. If they sleep with their back to you, that's even more telling. That means they feel safe enough to turn away and still trust that they're protected. And speaking of curling up, let's talk about the warmth factor. It's no secret that cats love warmth. Whether it's a sunbeam on the carpet, the top of a radiator, or the cozy pile of fresh laundry, if it's warm, a cat will find it. So naturally, your bed, especially when you're in it, is like a magnet. With a body temperature a little higher than ours, they're always chasing heat. And nothing says warmth quite like your legs under a blanket or the crook of your arm, but there's more to it than just chasing heat. That warmth they seek, it's not just physical, it's emotional too. When they curl into your side, it's not only to soak up body heat, it's to absorb that sense of safety they've come to associate with you. They want to be close to your heartbeat, your breathing, the steady rhythm of your presence. It calms them more than you know. Even in the summer, when the weather's warmer and they don't have to snuggle for heat, many still choose to be right beside you. That tells you everything. It's not just about staying toasty, it's about staying connected. Your presence is the comfort zone and the warmth is just a bonus. Cats are clever. They know where to go for the coziest spots in the house. But when push comes to shove, the warmth of their human always wins. Even when they drift off at the foot of the bed or wedge themselves between your knees, they're strategically picking the spots that keep them near your energy. You're like a living, breathing heating pad, but better, because you also offer companionship. Watch how they stretch just enough to stay in contact. Maybe just one paw touches you, or their tail rests lightly across your foot. That contact, combined with your warmth, creates the perfect environment for a restful sleep. It's not just comfort, it's contentment. There's also something deeply instinctual about it. In the wild, warmth meant survival. Curling up with littermates was how kittens stayed alive in colder nights. That instinct doesn't just disappear with domestication. They may be sleeping in a plush apartment now, but those ancient habits remain hardwired, and when they curl into you, they're tapping into that primal memory of shared heat and safety. Some cats even burrow under the covers, wrapping themselves in a blanket cocoon. It might look dramatic, but it's the ultimate compliment. They're saying they feel safe enough to fully immerse themselves in that shared space. And let's face it, few things are more adorable than a little cat head poking out from beneath the covers, blinking sleepily in the dark. So the next time you feel that warm little body press up against you, know this: it's not just about temperature, it's about the trust that comes with that closeness, the comfort, the unspoken connection. You're more than just a source of heat, you're a source of peace. But don't mistake this for just a physical thing. Sure, they're keeping warm, but they're also keeping close. That need for warmth is tied to their social instincts too. In the wild, cats would sleep in groups to share body heat and protection. Domestic cats, while more independent, still carry those instincts. So when they snuggle up to you, they're not just getting cozy, they're seeking that same sense of community. You're their family now, and curling up beside you is their version of sleeping in the safety of the pride. And for the cats who aren't always big cuddlers during the day, nighttime can be their moment to really show affection. And cats have this funny way of keeping their emotions low-key. They're not always in your face with love, the way dogs might be, but that doesn't mean they aren't affectionate. They just show it in subtler ways. A soft paw resting on your hand, a gentle press of their head into your shoulder, that steady, soothing purr. These little gestures might seem small, but in cat language, they're declarations of love. And then there's the exploring. Cats are born curious. Everything is an opportunity to investigate, analyze, and learn. So sometimes sleeping next to you is part of their exploratory behavior. They're not just trying to be close, they're figuring things out. That strange new pillow, they want to test it. The sound of your breathing, they're listening. Your heartbeat, it's comforting. They're mapping their environment constantly, even while they rest. And your bed, with its mixture of familiarity and unpredictability, is the perfect place to do that. But there's also something else at play. Attention. Cats are masters at getting it. And if they feel like they didn't get enough from you during the day, bedtime is the perfect time to demand it. By stretching out on your legs, flopping down across your chest, or even just occupying that one spot you were just about to roll over to, they're ensuring you don't forget about them. It's a tactic, yes, but it's also kind of endearing. It means they crave connection and they figured out that nighttime is the best time to make it happen. And here's the thing, cats might have a reputation for being aloof, but that couldn't be further from the truth. The bond they form with their humans is deep and genuine when they choose to sleep beside you, especially when there are countless other places they could go. It means something. It means they feel safe. It means they feel loved. And it means they love you right back. They might not say it out loud, but their presence speaks volumes. Every night spent curled up together strengthens that bond a little more. It becomes part of their emotional routine just as much as it becomes part of yours. And even if they change sleeping spots now and then, cats do love variety. The fact that they come back to your bed again and again shows just how meaningful it is to them. There's a kind of quiet, unspoken communication happening every night when your cat climbs into bed beside you. It's in the way they stretch out, the way they blink slowly, the way they tuck themselves into your side like they were always meant to be there. These aren't just habits. They're expressions of comfort, trust, and deep emotional connection. So the next time you feel that gentle weight at the foot of your bed or hear the faint sound of purring in the darkness, remember, it's not just about warmth or territory or curiosity. It's about trust. It's about affection. It's about belonging. Your cat isn't just sleeping with you. They're choosing you night after night. Without saying a word, they're telling you, this is home. It always starts the same way. The house is dark, the world is asleep, and just as your brain sinks into that perfect, dream-soaked part of the night, thud, then crash, then a sound that makes you question every decision you've ever made about letting a four-legged gremlin live rent-free in your home, you're not dreaming. Your cat is awake, very awake. And whatever's about to happen at 3 a.m. is absolutely, without question, about you. Sure, everyone jokes about cats being mysterious, nocturnal drama queens. People laugh about the zoomies like it's a universal law of nature. But here's the truth nobody tells you. Those weird, chaotic, slightly unhinged things your cat does in the middle of the night, they're not random. They're not pointless. And they're definitely not just about chasing invisible bugs. They're a language, a furry, chaotic, deeply personal language. And every single moment of it says something about your relationship. Think back to the last time it happened. Maybe it started with the faint pat, pat, pat of paws sprinting down the hallway like a stampede of tiny horses. Maybe it was a crash in the kitchen that sounded suspiciously like your favorite mug meeting its untimely end. Or maybe, worst of all, it was that chilling sensation of whiskers brushing your cheek and a pair of eyes staring into your soul like a furry, judgmental life coach. Whatever the form, one thing's certain, it always happens when you least expect it and when you're least prepared to deal with it. And that's not an accident. You see, your cat's ancestors didn't hunt at noon when the world was bright and predictable. They hunted in the twilight, dawn and dusk when shadows stretched long and the odds were in their favor. Those instincts haven't gone anywhere. They're baked into every muscle, every whisker twitch, every perfectly timed pounce. So when your cat launches itself at your foot under the blanket, it's not being annoying, it's practicing. That twitchy little ball of fur is running survival drills from 1,000 generations ago. But here's the twist most people miss. In your living room, there's no gazelle to chase, no mouse to stalk. The prey isn't some imaginary target, it's connection. Your cat isn't hunting food, it's hunting you. All day long, your cat watches you. Every move, every sigh, every time you open the fridge. It knows your schedule better than you do, and as far as your cat's concerned, you're not just some person who provides food, you're the center of its entire universe. The problem? That universe is often busy. You're glued to screens, racing through errands, buried in work, and somewhere between the emails and the Netflix binges, your cat starts to feel invisible, so it waits. It waits until the lights are off and the house is still, until there's no competition for your attention. And then, when you're finally vulnerable and distraction-free, it stages its grand performance. The 3 a.m. sprint. The dramatic meow. The daring leap from shelf to sofa. You might think it's chaos, but from your cat's point of view, it's a love letter in motion. Hey, it's saying, I'm still here. Don't forget about me. It's funny, isn't it? We call cats aloof, independent, too cool for affection, and yet, when the world goes quiet, they break every stereotype just to remind you they care. And if you pay close attention, you'll notice something else. Their late-night behavior often mirrors you more than you think. When you're stressed, their antics get louder. When you're anxious, they become clingier. When you're calm and happy, they might just curl up quietly beside you. It's not coincidence, it's sensitivity. Cats are absurdly attuned to their humans. They read your moods like a book you didn't mean to leave open. They notice the way you breathe, the way you move, the way your energy shifts when life weighs heavy. And sometimes that 3 a.m. chaos isn't about them at all. It's about you. It's their way of saying, I know something's off. Let's fix it together. And then there's the strangest part of all, the protector side. Ask any longtime cat owner and they'll have a story. A cat waking them seconds before a panic attack, meowing until they move during a nightmare, nudging them awake when something in the room feels off. It's not magic, it's biology. Cats can sense changes in heart rate, breathing, and even subtle chemical shifts in our bodies. They know when something isn't right, and they act. Sure, it might feel like they're just jumping on your chest for no reason, but sometimes it's their version of saving the day. You'll also notice that your cat's nocturnal antics sync suspiciously well with your own habits. Go to bed late? Expect the chaos closer to dawn? Early sleeper? Prepare for the midnight Olympics? Cats build their lives around ours more than we realize, shifting their sleep cycles, feeding patterns and playtime, just to stay aligned with the rhythms of the strange, hairless roommate they adore. It's not them being stubborn. It's them trying to fit their world into yours. And if you've ever wondered, why me? Why does my cat pick me for these nightly shenanigans? The answer is beautifully simple. Because you're their person. You're the one they trust most. The one they feel safest with. And nighttime, when the world is quiet and your guard is down, is when that bond feels the strongest. Whether they're curling against your side or tearing through the house like a furry tornado, it's all part of the same story. I choose you. Some people think cats don't form deep attachments. Those people have never been woken up at 3 a.m. by a headbutt and a loud, unapologetic purr. Because underneath all the mystery and mayhem, that's what these rituals really are. A messy, chaotic, surprisingly tender form of love. Some nights it goes beyond just attention-seeking or routine. There's a deeper layer hiding under all that chaos. Because here's the strange truth. Your cat is often responding to you, to the things you don't even say out loud. Ever notice how the madness gets louder when you're stressed, or how they're weirdly gentle when you've had a rough day? That's not random. Cats are absurdly attuned to human emotion. They read your body language, your movements, even the way you breathe. If you've been anxious or distant, their 3 a.m. theatrics can suddenly go into overdrive, as if they're trying to snap you out of your own head. But when you're calm, their approach might shift completely. Instead of tearing around the house like a furry tornado, they might simply curl up close, keeping silent watch. It's like they're saying, I've got you. Go back to sleep. And sometimes it's more than emotional sensitivity. Sometimes it's instinct. There are endless stories of cats waking people up moments before a medical emergency, a seizure, a dip in blood sugar, even a fire. Scientists believe cats can detect subtle changes in breathing, heart rate, even scent. What looks like random pawing at your face might actually be your cat trying to get your attention before something's wrong. Sure, it's annoying to be jolted awake at 3 a.m., but sometimes that annoying little nudge is their way of protecting you. That's part of what makes these nightly rituals so fascinating. They're not just habits, they're deeply personal interactions shaped around you. Research shows that cats often build their daily rhythms around their humans. They adapt to your sleep schedule, your meal times, even your morning routine. They learn when you're most likely to engage with them and when you're most likely to ignore them. And they slot their antics into the gaps. If you're a night owl, the chaos might hit closer to dawn. If you're an early riser, it might happen before sunrise. Their internal clock isn't just ticking to nature's rhythm, it's syncing with yours. And this brings us to the most surprising part of all, that 3 a.m. madness isn't really madness at all. It's a mirror. It's your cat reflecting pieces of your own life back at you. They show you your routines, your energy, your emotional weather, all through a language that involves more sprinting and knocking things over than actual words. When you think about it like that, those late night antics stop being random chaos. They become something far more meaningful, a conversation, one you might never have realized you were part of. And because ultimately, this isn't about cats being quirky or dramatic, it's about connection. Underneath all the noise, your cat's message is simple. I want to be near you. They choose the stillness of night because that's when they can have you without competition. No emails, no phone calls, no distractions, just the two of you, even if one of you is half asleep and muttering into a pillow. There's something beautiful in that, even if it's wrapped in irritation. It's easy to get annoyed at the zoomies or the paw to the face wake-up calls. But what if you saw them differently? What if instead of seeing chaos, you saw an invitation? Because that's what it is. Your cat is inviting you to connect, to slow down, to step into their little world of play and curiosity, even if it's just for a minute, and maybe there's a lesson in that too. Life isn't supposed to run like clockwork. It's messy and unpredictable and often inconvenient, and so is love. Your cat's way of saying, I care, might come wrapped in shattered picture frames or the sound of a ceramic mug rolling across the floor, but the message underneath is always the same. I'm here, with you, for you. So what do you do with that? You embrace it, you lean into it. Maybe you play with them a bit before bed, give them a chance to burn off that hunter energy. Maybe you hide a few treats for them to hunt overnight. Maybe when they climb onto your chest at 3 a.m. and purr like a tiny engine, you don't push them away right away. You let that small, strange, beautiful moment happen because one day you might miss it. And here's the best part. When you respond to those moments with patience and love, instead of frustration, the relationship shifts. They learn they don't need to shout to be heard. They feel safer, more connected, more at ease. And in return, you start noticing subtle changes in yourself too. You become more present, more in tune, more willing to laugh at the absurdity of it all. That's the real magic of living with a cat. They don't just change your home, they change you. So the next time you're jolted awake by tiny thunderous paws at 3 a.m., don't just see it as a nuisance. See it as a reminder that life is happening. Right now, in the quiet hours, in the messy, unpredictable, beautiful moments you might otherwise sleep through. Your cat doesn't want perfection. They don't care about your schedule or your alarms. They just want you fully present, even for a second, even in the dark. And maybe that's the real secret behind the 3 a.m. ritual. It's not about instincts or boredom or hunger. It's about love, the strange, stubborn, unspoken kind. The kind that purrs against your chest and looks into your soul without blinking. The kind that wakes you up not just from sleep, but from autopilot. So next time it happens, take a breath, smile, maybe even whisper something back. Because you're not just dealing with a house cat, you're sharing a life with a tiny, furry philosopher who in their own bizarre way is trying to teach you something. And hey, if that lesson has ever come crashing into your life at 3 a.m., I want to hear about it. Share your wildest late-night cat stories down below, the chaos, the cuddles, the moments that made you laugh or melt or question reality. And if you want more deep dives into the Have you ever spoken to your cat and felt like they actually understood you? The way they tilt their head, blink slowly, or even let out a soft meow right after you finish your sentence? It feels like a real conversation. But here's the thing, it might not just feel that way. Science is beginning to show that cats not only recognize your voice, but they can interpret tone, rhythm, and emotion in ways that might surprise you. So yes, your cat does understand you, just not in the way you might think. Let's start with something simple. When you say your cat's name, they know it. Studies out of the University of Tokyo have shown that cats can differentiate their name from other words. Even when spoken by strangers, they might not always respond because cats, unlike dogs, don't have a built-in desire to please, but they hear you. They process what you're saying. And depending on how you say it, they decide whether it's worth reacting to. In other words, they're not ignoring you, they're evaluating you. So how do you talk to your cat in a way that actually gets through? It begins with tone. Cats are deeply sensitive to the emotional content of your voice. If you speak in a high, soft tone, similar to the way you talk to a baby, cats tend to associate that with comfort, safety, and attention. Try this the next time your cat is lounging nearby. Call their name in a gentle, sing-song way. Watch their ears twitch, their tail flick slightly, their eyes meet yours. That's not a coincidence, that's the connection. But here's where it gets fascinating. Cats also use silence as communication. Unlike dogs, who rely on sound and movement to express themselves, cats often speak through stillness. The way they hold your gaze or turn away mid-conversation tells you more than 1,000 meows. If you talk to your cat and they blink slowly, that's the feline equivalent of a smile. It's their way of saying, "I trust you." Try returning that gesture, a slow blink, no words, and see how your cat reacts. It's one of the purest nonverbal exchanges between two species. Beyond tone and eye contact, rhythm matters too. Cats are sensitive to the cadence of your voice. When you speak calmly, evenly, and with gentle inflection, it mirrors the rhythm of feline comfort, the same kind of sound a mother cat makes when purring to her kittens. But when your voice becomes sharp, hurried, or loud, it triggers an instinctive caution. Even if you're not angry, your cat might interpret your tone as a sign of conflict or danger. So, learning to speak cat isn't just about what you say, it's about how you sound saying it. Interestingly, cats may also associate certain words or phrases with specific actions or emotions, not necessarily through understanding language like humans, but through pattern recognition. For example, if every time you say treat, your cat hears a rustling bag afterward, they learn that sound combination means reward. If you say no in a firm, consistent tone whenever they jump on the counter, over time, they associate that tone and word with a boundary. In essence, you're creating a personal language. Your voice becomes their map of what's safe, what's rewarding, and what's not. But what about body language? It turns out that cats pay as much attention to your gestures as your words, the way you move your hands, how you approach them, even the direction your feet are facing. All of it sends signals. Approaching a cat directly, facing them head-on, can be perceived as a challenge. Instead, approach slightly from the side, crouch to their level, and extend your hands slowly with relaxed fingers. Combine that with a soft, familiar tone, and you'll see the difference almost instantly. They'll approach with confidence instead of hesitation. Now let's talk about timing. Cats are creatures of rhythm and routine. The way you speak to them during feeding, play, or quiet moments helps them build trust. Talking to your cat at consistent times, say before meals or during grooming, creates association. It becomes part of their expected world, reinforcing your bond. They begin to anticipate your voice, your tone, your timing, and that's when communication deepens. Your cat starts to not just hear you, but listen. Here's something many people miss. Cats use different meows for different messages. A short, high-pitched meow might be a greeting. A long, drawn-out one could mean impatience, rapid meowing, excitement, or sometimes protest. The key is to listen as much as you talk. Cats mirror the energy you bring. If you're calm, they'll respond calmly. If you're stressed, they pick up on it instantly. In a way, your emotional state is the real language they're reading, as science backs this up. A 2022 study found that cats respond differently when their owners use affectionate cat-directed speech, essentially baby talk for cats, versus when they use normal adult speech. Interestingly, they ignore that same tone when it comes from strangers. That means cats can not only distinguish your voice, but also assign emotional significance to it. They know when you're talking to them. But let's flip this perspective for a moment. What if you learn to interpret their communication as fluently as they interpret yours? Think about the position of their tail. Straight up with a curve at the top means affection. Puffed out means alarm. Low and twitching could signal irritation. Their ears, too, are like radar dishes tuned to emotion. Forward means curiosity. Flattened means fear or aggression. When you combine this with tone and timing, you begin to have an actual dialogue, a cross-species understanding built not on words, but on empathy. Many cat owners describe moments when their cat talks back. Soft chirps, coos, trills that almost sound conversational. These are more than cute noises. They're attempts at bridging the gap. Cats rarely use these sounds with other cats. They reserve them for humans. That's right, your cat developed a private vocal code just for communicating with you. When you respond, even with nonsense syllables or matching tones, you're reinforcing that shared language. And this language can go even deeper. Cats can read your micro-expressions, the tiny involuntary movements on your face that reflect mood. They know when you're upset, when you're joyful, when you're preoccupied. Some cats even adjust their behavior, becoming more affectionate when you're sad or quieter when you're stressed. It's empathy in motion, but expressed in feline form. There's another layer too, scent and sound memory. Cats remember the sound of your footsteps, your breathing, the scent of your hands. When you talk to them, you're not just speaking through sound, you're sending a familiar, comforting signature. This is why cats respond differently to their owners after time apart. When you return and call their name softly, they don't just hear a voice, they recall safety, warmth, and belonging. Now let's address a myth. The idea that cats are indifferent or aloof. The truth is, cats are selective communicators. They conserve energy for interactions that matter. In the wild, unnecessary noise attracts predators. So when your cat meows at you, that's not casual, it's deliberate. It means they've chosen to break silence to reach you. That's trust on display. And when you respond, especially with calm acknowledgement, you validate that trust. Talk to your cat throughout the day. Narrate what you're doing in a calm tone. You might say, "Good morning," when you wake up, or "Want dinner" when preparing food. Cats thrive on predictability. The more consistent your verbal cues are, the more confident and secure they feel in their environment. Over time, you'll notice they begin to anticipate your next move just from the rhythm of your words. Some experts recommend incorporating slow conversation with cats, short verbal exchanges punctuated by silence. You say something softly, wait, and let your cat respond with body language or sound. This mimics natural feline communication patterns. Too much constant talking can overwhelm them, but measured rhythmic dialogue invites them to engage. And yes, music can play a role too. Cats respond best to sounds that mimic their vocal range. Soft, higher-pitched melodies, and gentle rhythmic patterns. Try speaking to your cat with that same musical quality in your tone. It's soothing, familiar, and deeply bonding. There's also something almost spiritual about these moments. When you kneel down, meet your cat's gaze, and speak softly, you're not just training or communicating, you're connecting across worlds. You, a human with complex language and abstraction, are bridging into the intuitive, sensory realm of an animal that has evolved alongside humans for thousands of years. Every blink, purr, and meow is a thread in that shared tapestry. Now imagine what happens when you begin to understand your cat's communication at this level. The misinterpretations fade away. You stop assuming they're ignoring you and start realizing they're observing you. They're watching your tone, your rhythm, your gestures. And when you adjust those just slightly, when you align your energy with theirs, you start to unlock something extraordinary. A dialogue that feels effortless, natural, even transcendent. This connection doesn't just make your cat happier, it can improve your well-being too. Studies have shown that verbal and emotional interactions with pets can reduce stress, lower blood pressure, and release oxytocin, the bonding hormone. Talking to your cat isn't just about being understood, it's about mutual healing. You calm them, and in turn, they calm you. Over time, you'll start to notice patterns. Your cat will respond to specific phrases with consistent actions. They might come running when you use their playtime voice, or purr when you whisper their name. You'll develop an intuitive sense of when they want affection and when they want space. It's not guesswork anymore, it's fluency. Now, let's dig deeper into what really happens when you talk to your cat, not just with your voice, but with your entire emotional energy. Because for cats, communication isn't confined to sound. It's a multi-layered mix of tone, body language, scent, and even rhythm. When you say your cat just knows when you're sad or stressed, feels safest around, it's the feline equivalent of whispering. And then there's touch communication. When your cat rubs against your leg or presses her forehead into you, a behavior called bunting, she's not just showing affection, she's marking you with pheromones. That's her way of saying, "You're family." Responding by gently scratching behind her ears or speaking softly reinforces that bond. You're essentially talking back in her language. Now here's a secret most people overlook. Cats respond not just to sound, but to vibration. Their whiskers, fur, and paws are incredibly sensitive to air currents and micro vibrations. That means your tone physically affects the environment they experience. Calm, rhythmic tones create a stable vibration field, which cats find soothing. Angry or high-frequency tones create erratic vibrations, which feel like static to them. So when you speak with patience and calmness, you're literally crafting a peaceful space your cat can feel. So the next time you find yourself talking to your cat, remember this: it's not silly, it's not one-sided, it's ancient communication refined through companionship. Cats evolved to coexist with humans not because they had to, but because they chose to. And part of that coexistence means learning to understand each other's language, not through words, but through tone, patience, and love. And maybe that's the deeper lesson here. The best way to talk to your cat is to listen, to slow down, to notice, to be present. Because when you speak with genuine calmness and intention, your cat doesn't just hear your voice, they feel you're in the middle of answering emails when you hear the soft patting of paws, and there's your cat sitting in the doorway, staring at you with those big, unblinking eyes. 5 minutes later, you're making a sandwich in the kitchen, and boom, there they are again, weaving between your legs like they're on patrol. Later that night, you're sprawled on the couch scrolling through your phone, and guess who wanders in for the third time? Your cat. Again, just checking. But here's the question that's probably crossed your mind at least once. Why does your cat keep checking in on you like you're the most important thing in their world? Well, buckle up, because the answer is way more fascinating than you think. Your cat isn't just being nosy or looking for food. They're operating on a whole different level of instinct, emotion, and yes, genuine affection. Let's dive into the wild, wonderful reasons why your furry little shadow can't seem to leave you alone. You are their territory, and they're claiming you? Let's start with something that might sound a bit possessive, but honestly, your cat thinks you belong to them. Cats are incredibly territorial creatures. In the wild, their survival depends on maintaining control over their domain, whether that's a stretch of forest, a barn, or in your case, your entire house. And here's the kicker, you're part of that territory. Ever noticed your cat rubbing their face against your leg or gently headbutting you? That's not just adorable affection. That's your cat marking you with their scent. Cats have special scent glands located around their cheeks, chin, forehead, and the base of their tail. When they rub against you, they're depositing pheromones that essentially say, "This human is mine. Back off, other cats." Those pheromones fade over time, which means your cat has to keep coming back to refresh their claim. So when you come home from work smelling like the outside world, or worse, like another cat, your feline friend immediately needs to reestablish ownership. They're not being clingy, they're being strategic. When your cat walks into your room, pauses, sniffs the air, and then rubs against your leg before walking away, they're literally conducting a territorial inspection. Everything in order? Check. Human properly marked? Check. Mission accomplished. In multi-cat households, you might notice your cats taking turns rubbing against you. This creates what's called a group scent, a communal smell that identifies everyone as part of the same family unit. When your cat checks in on you, they're reinforcing the social structure of your household. You are their source of entertainment. Here's a truth bomb: your cat thinks you're hilarious. Not in a laugh out loud kind of way, but in a "what is this strange human doing now" kind of way. In the wild, cats would spend their days stalking, hunting, and chasing down prey. Wild cats can make up to 10 or 20 hunting attempts in a single day, but in your cozy home, there are no mice to catch, no birds to stalk. So what's a bored cat to do? Your cat checks in on you because you're the most interesting thing happening in their world. Maybe you'll drop something they can bat under the couch. Maybe you'll open a drawer they can investigate. Maybe you'll finally throw that crinkly toy they've been eyeing. Every time your cat wanders into your space, they're essentially asking, "Got anything fun for me?" Cats are incredibly persistent when it comes to play. If you've ever tried to ignore your cat while they're clearly trying to get your attention, you know what I'm talking about. They'll sit there staring at you with laser focus, waiting for you to crack. And when you finally do, when you wiggle that string or toss that feather toy, they've won. You've become their personal entertainment director. The hunting instinct in cats is so strong that it's only partially related to hunger. Even well-fed cats will stalk and pounce because the drive to hunt is hardwired into their brains. Your cat isn't just bored, they're keeping their predatory skills sharp. You are their protector and safe haven. When your cat checks in on you, it's often because you make them feel safe. Despite their reputation as fierce, independent hunters, cats are also prey animals. In the wild, they have to constantly watch their backs for larger predators. Even in the safety of your home, those ancient instincts don't disappear. When the world feels overwhelming, a loud thunderstorm, the terrifying roar of the vacuum cleaner, or the sudden bark of the neighbor's dog, your cat seeks you out. Your presence is their security blanket. Each time they check in, they're essentially asking, "Hey, is everything okay? Are we safe?" Research has shown that cats form genuine attachment bonds with their humans, similar to the way children bond with their parents. About 64% of cats display what scientists call a secure attachment style, meaning they feel more relaxed and less stressed when their favorite person is nearby. So when your cat pads into your room at 2 a.m. and just sits there, watching you sleep, they're not being creepy. They're making sure their protector is still there. Your cat has learned that you're the stable, reassuring presence in their life. When you're around, they can relax. When you're gone, they might feel anxious. And when you return, they check in to make sure everything can return to normal. Cats also look to their owners for social referencing, which means they gauge how to react to situations based on your reactions. If there's a strange noise and you seem calm, your cat will take that as a signal that everything's fine. These constant check-ins help your cat stay informed. You are their manager and they're reporting for duty. Here's something that might surprise you. Despite the way your cat has you trained to open doors and serve meals on demand, they actually see you as the boss. In feral cat colonies, Subtle social hierarchies exist. Grooming behaviors, particularly when one cat grooms another's head, can be a sign of dominance and social rank. When you stroke their head, scratch behind their ears, or gently rub their face, you're engaging in a behavior that reinforces your position as the leader. Your cat accepts this. In fact, they might even prefer it this way because it means they can rely on you to handle the big decisions. And so when your cat checks in on you throughout the day, it's a bit like an employee stopping by their manager's office to make sure everything's running smoothly. They're confirming that you're still in charge, that the household hierarchy is intact, and that all is well in their carefully organized world. Cats are creatures of routine and consistency. They thrive on predictable patterns and established schedules. Your cat might check in on you at specific times of day, perhaps in the morning when they expect you to wake up, or in the evening when dinner typically happens. They're ticking things off their mental checklist. You are their best friend, plain and simple. Sometimes the simplest explanation is the right one. Your cat checks in on you because they genuinely like you. They love you. They want to be near you. Despite their reputation for being aloof and independent, cats are social creatures who form deep emotional bonds with their favorite humans. When your cat walks into the room, makes eye contact with you, and then settles down nearby, they're not looking for food or entertainment. They're just hanging out. They want to be in your presence because it makes them happy. That gentle purr, that slow blink, that contented meow sound, those are all signs that your cat is expressing affection. Studies have found that when cats interact positively with their owners, both the cat and the human experience an increase in oxytocin, the so-called love hormone that's associated with bonding and emotional connection. Cats who are securely attached to their owners initiate more interactions, spend more time nearby, and show fewer signs of stress. The bond between a cat and their human can be just as strong as the bond between a dog and their owner, though it manifests differently. Cats don't need constant attention or validation, but they do seek proximity to the people they love. When your cat chooses to nap in the same room as you, that's a display of affection. So the next time your cat checks in on you for the 5th time that day, remember, they're not being annoying. They're being loving. In their own quirky feline way, they're telling you that you matter to them. You are their kid, and they're making sure you're okay. Have you ever noticed your cat watching you while you sleep? Cats are polyphasic sleepers, meaning they take multiple short naps throughout the day. The average cat sleeps about 16 hours a day, which is double what most humans need. So when you settle in for your solid 8 hours, your cat might be genuinely confused. Why are you sleeping for so long? Are you okay? Just like a parent checking on their sleeping child, your cat might be checking in on you to make sure you're safe and healthy. They don't fully understand why you sleep the way you do, but they care enough to monitor you. And if you start making weird sounds, snoring, sleep talking, or tossing and turning, your cat might get concerned and move closer to investigate. Cats are also incredibly perceptive when it comes to changes in your behavior or physical state. Many cat owners report that their cats become more attentive when they're sick or feeling down. Your cat might notice that you've been in bed longer than usual. These observations trigger their protective instincts. You are their favorite experiment. Let's be real, cats are master manipulators, not in a malicious way, but in a brilliantly observant, I've figured you out kind of way. Over time, your cat has learned that certain behaviors lead to certain rewards. When they check in on you and you immediately pet them, give them a treat, or stop what you're doing to play, you're reinforcing that behavior. Your cat is essentially training you. They've discovered that showing up in your space equals attention, food, or affection, so they keep doing it. And the more you respond, the more they learn that their little check-ins are effective. And next time your cat wanders into your office and meows softly, pay attention to what happens next. Do you immediately reach down to pet them? Do you get up to refill their food bowl? Congratulations, you've been conditioned, and your cat knows it. They're like tiny, furry behavioral scientists. You are their alien, and they're studying you. From your cat's perspective, you are the alien. You're the weird, unpredictable creature they share a home with, and they're endlessly fascinated by your strange behaviors. Why do you sit in that small room with running water for so long? What's that hot brown liquid you drink every morning? How do you make food appear from metal containers? Your cat's curiosity drives them to observe you constantly. Every check-in is another opportunity to gather data, to understand your patterns, to solve the mystery of what makes you tick. They're not just being nosy, they're being scientists. Cats are naturally curious creatures with razor-sharp observational skills. Their senses are far more acute than ours. They can hear frequencies we can't detect, smell scents we can't perceive, and see movements we can't notice. All of this sensory information makes our world endlessly fascinating to them, and you, as the central figure in their daily life, are the most interesting subject of all, the beautiful truth. So why does your cat keep checking in on you? Because you're their territory, their entertainment, their protector, their manager, their best friend, their kid, their favorite experiment, and their fascinating alien all rolled into one. Every glance, every visit, every soft meow is your cat's way of saying, "You're important to me. I want to make sure you're here. I want to be part of your world." The next time your cat pads into the room and fixes those big eyes on you, don't brush them off. Don't assume they just want food or attention. Take a moment to appreciate what's really happening. Your cat is choosing to be near you. In a world full of cozy spots to nap, sunny windows to lounge in, and toys to bat around, they're choosing you. And that's not just adorable, it's a genuine display of love and trust. Cats may have a reputation for being aloof and independent, but the truth is far more tender. These little fur balls have formed a bond with you that's rooted in ancient instinct, modern adaptation, and real emotional connection. So cherish those check-ins, embrace those surprise visits, and the next time your cat walks into the room just to stare at you for 30 seconds before walking away, smile and take it as the compliment it is. Because in that brief moment, you were the most important thing in their entire world. You were their whole universe, their safe place, their favorite person. That's the kind of love that makes sharing your life with a cat one of the most rewarding experiences you can have. And honestly, that's pretty special.